Right. Oh, hey, we're live.
Oh, okay.
Hello, and welcome to Commissioner in Car. Today is Tuesday. It is September 28th, and welcome to Commissioner in Car. I'm Dustin Czarny. I'm the Democratic Elections Commissioner, and I got another guest with me here today, Sydney Szcesniak. She is our machine technician on the Democratic side, and welcome to the car, Sydney.
Hello, okay.
Sydney's a little nervous, but she doesn't really have to be because she does an incredible job here at the Board of Elections. Sydney, when did you start with us?
So I came in at the beginning of 19. I started in the very first spot in registration, and then moved to reception, and then in the general election in 2020, I moved out back as the machine tech, and it's been good. I like it back there.
So right in the fire of 2020,
yeah,
with a pandemic going on and a presidential election, you moved back to what became one of the more high-profile spots at the boards of elections because you deal with all of the election machines and all the programming, right?
Right. And I have to give a shout out to my counterpart, Kelly. We make a really good team, so that's good. And I'm glad to work with her because we, get things done really quickly and try our best. And
so tell us what that's like. So what is it like to work on the election machines? What goes on back in the warehouse?
So every time a machine leaves and when it comes back, it's logged. We test it, we audit it, and they're scanned, they're sealed, so that if, anything were to happen, we'd know and correct it. We make sure the ballots read correctly. We have a team of techs that help us test them before they go out for elections, bipartisan teams. We program the ballots too so that the machines read them correctly, and that is in a secure room, and it's not connected to the internet. It's it's on its own server. So and Kelly and I we'll be the only ones in there, and making sure it's bipartisan and that everything's fair and correct.
And everything that we do is bipartisan, and you kind of touched on the room not being connected to the internet, but I think a lot of people always wonder about the machines themselves. Are the scanner machines internet capable?
No.
All right. So how do we program those machines?
So we're in a secure room, and we use a secure system through Dominion, and it's not very, sometimes it can be difficult to work with, but we get great help from Dominion,
but we also physically go through and program each individual machine with bipartisan teams.
Yes.
And then we test those machines with a bipartisan team before they even go out to the election, right?
Right.
And then after, while it's out there, we have our paper ballots, and we get all the paper ballots back. We account for the paper ballots, and then you and Kelly both do the results on election night, right?
Right. And we'll go back in that secure room where it's bipartisan. We upload the results together, and there's actually 2 cards in the machine that we can, for a double check later, we also upload those results 3 days later to make sure that they match.
So there's 2 flashcards in each machine.
Right.
And one comes back on election night. And it's physically driven back. It's not like called in. It's not like reported over the internet. They're physically driven back to the office, right?
Right.
And then you take that first flashcard, and that's how we get our unofficial election night results.
Correct.
But you're saying that the second flashcard that's in the machine, you upload those 3 days later to double check that they match the first flashcard.
Right. And that we have 100% reporting at the end of the night too.
Yep.
So that we know that we're all set and got everything back.
So all of these checks are bipartisan along the way, and then And then, you do your, audit after well, you don't end up doing the audit. That's another team that does the audit, but we have a 3% audit where we take 3% of the machines at random and hand count the absentee the election day ballots and against what the scanner says, right?
Right.
And that's after you do your machine audit, which is a 100% machine audit that you do 3 days after the election.
Correct.
So, and then you also have, you're responsible for the warehouse and
right.
Making sure that all of the equipment that goes out on election day goes out. What's that like?
Our warehouse we're outgrowing it. We have a lot of supplies, especially with these new poll pads that we started in 19, right?
Yep,
in 19. So we make sure all of the equipment's there, that it's logged right, and if we need more, we go through our payroll person to order what we need, and yeah.
But I mean, we have thousands of pieces of equipment that go out for election day, right? And you're responsible for making sure the trucks. We have a great moving company, Brown's Moving Company, right? And but you work with them to make sure that all the correct equipment gets on it and gets returned.
Right.
So this is not a one-day job.
No. Nope. We're here every day, all year.
And of course, you still do registration.
Yep.
You're one of our top verifiers. You register voters when there's a little bit of downtime.
Yep.
But never downtime with registration. That comes in all the time. But
right.
So, what was it like working in 2020 during the pandemic?
Well, I think it was pretty difficult. The pandemic really threw us for a loop, but somehow we got it done. Honestly, it was a blur for me. I felt like it really, like one whole election felt like 3 years.
Yeah.
But
and on top of all the regular equipment, you were responsible for getting the PPE out to the different polling places as well.
The PPE was a lot.
And we're going to be doing that again this year. We're still in it. Obviously, we're still got the masks. We're still dealing with it.
Right.
But you were also part of the absentee teams that were recounting that got shut down due to COVID. That was a scary little time. But
yeah.
That's a time where I think I aged like 10 years in those 2 weeks.
Yeah, I have at least 3 gray hairs from 2020.
You're too young to have gray hair.
Okay, well, I got some. So from 2020.
So, what do you like most about working at the board, and what are the things that are some of the biggest challenges?
Well, I think my favorite part is, like, I like how systematic things are, and I like that it does change throughout the year of what we're doing, because when you go from primary to general, and then there's absentees, and not absentees, there's the machines, and I like the change. Sometimes it feels good to be doing different things, especially back in the warehouse. I'm not at a desk all day. It's nice to be walking around and doing things like that. I like our staff. I work well with people, and I have to give a shout out to the Republicans too. I know we haven't heard from them. This is
right.
The Dems, but I have to say, like, a lot of them do a good job, and
yeah, I do think we have a good rapport in our office. I mean, obviously, ideologically, sometimes we have differences at the commissioners, but the employees work really well together. I mean, I like Michelle too. We work well together too. But we have different ideologies. But I think the employees really buckle down and get the work done. You're the backbone of our office.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a good experience, and I've grown a lot since I first got here. Doing phones and stuff, like, sometimes I miss that part, and talking to voters and getting that, like, immediate gratification of appreciation, where, like, out back, it's just, like, I'm working more with our staff, which is fine, but,
Yeah.
So.
No, I get that. I love talking to voters. I hate, you know, that's one of the things I love about the job the most. So I understand what you're saying there, missing that. But it's a vital role you do, because without what you do, we can't get the results that we need.
Right.
So, well, you know, today is National Voter Registration Day. I should remind the voters about that. So if you haven't updated your address yet, you still have till October 8th, or register to vote for the first time, or change your party. Go to onvote.net. You can check your registration, get registration tools. So, you know, I think, you know, this has been a good little chat, and I want to thank you for all the work that you do for us here at the board. You know, we have a undersized and understaffed board, and we only get it done because of the quality of our employees, and I think that's important to shout out. So I'm glad you're on the team.
Well, thank you.
So, and we're gonna, you know, so there's not, you know, next week is the voter registration deadline. That's October 8th. That's a week from Friday. And this is National Voter Registration Week. So next week we will focus at Commissioner in the Car on voter registration to get those last minute things done. I have a couple of wonky Wednesdays that I'm going to drop this week. And we've been working on the County Ledge series. On Sunday, I just had a Zoom with Zarni with Matt Johnson, an incredible young candidate. Check that interview out on my social feeds. And I also had Sunny Aslam the Thursday before. I got Chanel Benson-Reed coming up on Thursday, and Ryan Susser coming up on Sunday. They are also County Ledge candidates. Local elections matter. This is an important year. Every year is important, but, you know, County Ledge is up, town boards are up, city, mayor, everything is up this year. So
5 state props.
5 state props, that's right. We're going to have to do a Commissioner Carr on state props when we get closer, because there are 5 state props and some town props and some village props. So make sure you flip your ballot, and absentees are going out right now. If you need an absentee, you can get one for COVID reasons by selecting temporary illness, but one of the state props on the ballot is no fault absentee, so you don't have to bother with excuses anymore. You can just request an absentee and vote by mail. So check that out. And what else? Anything else I'm missing?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, so that's it for Commissioner in the Car. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope to see you back here over the next few days, and my next Commissioner in Car next Tuesday might be a little later because I'll be driving back from Florida. My daughter is getting married this weekend, which I don't understand why she doesn't understand what her dad does for a living. No, that's just, it's going to be fine. We're going to go down for a long weekend, and I'll be back. And I'm looking forward to it. My baby girl, Kimberly, if you're watching this, love you. I can't wait to see you get married on Sunday. But I'll be driving back on Tuesday, so I'm not sure I'll be doing a Commissioner in the Car. If I do it, I'll be doing it later. Or I'll be doing it on the road, and my wife will be yelling at me. One other thing. We'll go from there. Thank you very much, and see you around. Bye-bye.